what people think Trump is doing and the Republicans are doing in tackling the green agenda is just a diversion from the manipulation of financial markets and this continued rollout of the new economy. And it is a carbon-based economy that operates by measuring and managing your emissions. Now, that is optics. You know, it has nothing to do with actual emissions. Mainly, this is about controlling our perceptions about the safety of the planet. It's about controlling our perceptions about who ought to set the standards for industry and other things like that.
It's not about pollution.
It has nothing to do
We're
with pollution.
all against pollution.
It has everything to do with new markets, especially new energy markets, and the big oil producers are moving toward a hydrogen-based fuel offering. And so even in Oklahoma, you have ExxonMobil, you have Shell, you have Saudi Aramco that are all moving toward the development of hydrogen and ammonia as a fuel source. This is the new fuel that is being developed. In order to transition to hydrogen fuel, you have to sell it to the people in terms of protecting the planet and, oh, it's clean. So this is how they have to develop this climate change narrative. They have to develop the common good narrative in order to get enough people, or actually I should say giant corporations, to buy into the reputation capital movement. Oh, we're green. Green is good. We want to be seen as green because that in itself is a market. Now, what the average person thinks of any corporation doesn't matter at all. It's just what the bankers and investors think of a corporation. They know that this is a ruse. They just have to talk the talk of green stuff so that it looks like they're only financing green energy products. And then the people who sheepishly follow the banksters and the think tanks and their government puppets, then they all say, oh yes, this is green, this is good, right? But it's a sham. And everybody knows it except the little people who tend to be fooled by it. To move to hydrogen, you have to sequester the carbon so that you can claim that hydrogen is a low emissions fuel. And there are 4 hydrogen development hubs in the US, and Oklahoma is one of those. 26 in Glasgow, there was an agreement about setting up a global carbon trading mechanism. So
it's the United Nations, Jenny, but they call it COP, the Conference of Parties.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
There's the UN Sustainable Development Plan. It's complicated, right?
Isn't that part of the whole scheme? If you make it super hard to understand, the plebes don't get it?
Yes, that's exactly it. So we can be told any number of things, and because the claims that we're being fed come from the experts at MIT, at the big corporate research boards, then all of us regular people just assume that they're correct. The data says this, the evidence, the experts, they all say this. And we say, oh, well, I don't really understand all of that science, or, oh, well, they've got the data to prove this. It must be right. But it is such a scam